Fear grips Niger as parents pull kids from St. Mary's after bandit raid. Nnamdi Kanu moved to Sokoto prison amid security concerns. Tinubu's posters mysteriously vanish in Abuja, raising questions. Away from Nigeria, ECOWAS sounds alarm, terrorism existential threat to West Africa. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Mimuna Bagudu, and now we begin with security matters. Panic spread across Papiri community in Agwara local government area of Niger State on Friday as anxious parents trooped to St. Mary's School to withdraw their children following the overnight attack in which an unconfirmed number of students and staff were kidnapped. The tense atmosphere comes hours after terrorists raided the Catholic school between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., abducting several occupants. Now, authorities say they are still compiling the exact number of victims. Police and local officials have assured residents that efforts are underway to track the attackers and rescue the abducted students and staff. Now, the Niger State government on Friday condemned the kidnapping of pupils from St. Mary's School in Papiri, Agwara local government area, saying the incident occurred after the school reopened without government clearance despite a prior directive suspending boarding activities in the area. And details of the attack remain unclear, but according to Daily Trust, multiple sources said several students were taken during the midnight raid. The head of Department, Disaster and Relief Agwara local government, Ahmed Abdullahi Rufai, who confirmed the attack through telephone, said the terrorists stormed the school between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., adding that the actual number of abducted students and staff had yet to be determined as authorities continue their assessments. In a statement signed and released on Friday by the Secretary to the state government, Abubakar Usman, the government said it had received a credible intelligence warning of an increased threat in parts of the Niger North Senatorial District. He noted that as a precaution, the state had ordered the suspension of all construction work and the temporary closure of boarding schools within the affected zone. He added that the exact number of pupils taken remains unconfirmed as security agencies continue to assess the situation. The SSG explained that security forces have launched a full-scale investigation and search and rescue operations to rescue the safe return of the abducted children. The incident comes just days after a similar attack in Maga, Kebbi State, where 25 students were kidnapped, heightening concerns over the deteriorating security situation in educational institutions across the region. On Thursday, over 50 schools were shut down in Kwara State as a result of rampaging bandits. Now, joining us through phone call is our Niger State correspondent, Abubakar Akote, to give us more update on the security situation. Hello, Abubakar. Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
All right, can you bring us to speed? What's the latest security situation around St. Mary's School as we speak?
I think that the people remain as it is. The area generally has been under terrorist for the past 2 months. And even the state government statement confirmed that the area has been very safety challenged. And so the situation is not easy for the people, especially looking at the ages of children that have been kidnapped.
All right, Abubakar, do you have confirmed numbers of students or staff affected, and what are officials saying about it?
The figure I'm going to receive from the state chairman, that's a Christian Association of Nigeria State Chairman, Reverend Father Billy, is that 215 students were kidnapped and 12 teachers. bringing the total to 227 abductions in general from the school.
Do you have any reports as to what the security operatives have done so far in response to this attack, and how visible is their presence on ground?
So far, the police, Niger State Police Commander continues to give assurance that the security forces, including the army and other state agencies, the vigilantes and the rest have been prepared to ensure the children and the other visitors are received safely, and the situation that the security will land on ground to ensure that everything is brought under control.
All right, as of when you got to the school area, is the area fully accessible, or are parts of the community still restricted?
The area generally, the Niger State since October this year, or the latest September, up to this moment, Agwara is one of the local governments in Niger North that has been under terrorist attacks recently. We have other local governments like Magama, Gov't, Matogu, and as well as even from Tobora and Boribu local government. Just last week here, 15 vigilantes lost their lives while confronting the vigilantes who invaded the community in Matogu local government while the residents were observing their early morning prayers to kidnap about 22 of them. When they were engaged, 15 vigilantes lost their lives. So the area generally has this instant attack for the past 3 months, and the state government has proceeded to give assurance that they are doing everything possible to save the situation, but also this abduction of students happened last month.
All right, that will be all for now. Abakar Akote, thank you for speaking with us this evening and for giving us the situation report in St. Mary's Schools in Niger State.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Following the directive of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Mohammed Matawale, has arrived at the Sir Amadou Bello International Airport, Birnin Kebbi. Matawale's arrival marks the beginning of a high-level security engagement in Kebbi State as the federal government intensifies efforts to address the recent surge in terrorist activities across parts of the Northwest. Now, senior military commanders, state officials and security stakeholders were on ground to receive the minister. He is expected to meet with security agencies, assess ongoing operations and deliver the president's directive aimed at strengthening the fight against banditry and restoring stability in affected communities. Now, still in Kebbi State, the governor, Nasser Idris, has demanded explanations from military authorities over the withdrawal of troops from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Maga, shortly before dozens of schoolgirls were abducted in Danko Wasagu local government area. Now, Idris made the remarks on Thursday while receiving the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Joe Ajaero, who led a solidarity visit to the state following the incident. The governor said he was deeply troubled that security personnel pulled out of the school despite prior intelligence alerts provided by the state government. According to Idris, soldiers reportedly left the school around 3 a.m. while the attackers struck less than 4 to 5 minutes later. He noted that the withdrawal contradicted earlier assurances of enhanced protection for schools in vulnerable border communities, which have frequently been targeted by bandits. Now, joining us through Zoom to discuss on the Kebbi situation is Abdulrahman Mohammed Manga, is the Secretary, Zuru Local Government in Kebbi State. Thank you, Manga, for joining us this evening. It's really a sad one coming from Kebbi. Would like to hear from you. With the Minister of State for Defense now in Kebbi, what's the feeling on the ground in the state? Are residents hopeful that his visit will lead to real improvements?
Yes, to be Kebbi, we are happy with we are very happy with the president's directive that the minister should be in Kebbi to make sure that the pupils are being fetched. And even though His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi, has been up and doing right from the very first day the incident happened, he has been on his toes to ensure that these girls are brought back to their families. And we believe that the minister's visit is an assurance by the presidency that they will do everything humanly possible to see that these girls are back to their homes peacefully and hopefully in good condition.
Now, Maga, before the minister's arrival, how would you describe the effectiveness of ongoing security operations in Kebbi State and also the surrounding communities as well?
Our governor has been a very proactive governor when it comes to security, and he has been doing all that it takes to ensure that security is his top priority. Most of the things that are happening, if not for the effort of the governor for doing his prompt action on the security, it wouldn't have been as good as it is now, as bad as it is now. Because this is a person that is always on top of his feet when it comes to the issues of security. That was why even when he got the first privileged information or security report on the likelihood of attacking the school, already he has mobilized the securities to the school. And this question remained a very serious question on why were they there and why did they left just 45 minutes after they left such an incident took place. Even though there were some series of that there was an attack elsewhere, they went to reinforce, and this took place. And it's still a mystery, and the governor and the people of Kebbi State are still worried, and they really want this question to be answered.
Okay, you just made mention, even while, during the news, we learned that the security personnel left the vicinity at 3 a.m. Now, do you have any information on why security personnel pulled out at that time?
Well, information that were going around where they attacked, the bandits attacked a very neighboring village, and they went to reinforce the village, and that was why they went ahead to attack the school. But it has not been confirmed, and the investigation is ongoing to ensure whether that was true or not. But there is still a question that the people of Kebbi are still worried that why should the military be in a position to secure the school, and just 45 minutes after they left, such an act has been took place. And in fact, the governor was in Abuja, but he had to cut all his engagements to make sure that he's in Maga to see on the spot assessment, and also ensure that search is being ongoing. And as we speak, the military has been on their toes. The civilian JTFs and also security operatives have been all over to ensure that they are able to rescue these children. And unfortunately, most of these things that are happening, they come in from the neighboring town or the neighboring state, that is Zamfara. They advance into Kebbi, they cause mayhem, and they leave. And this has always been the case. That was why the last time His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, said there's no camp in Kebbi. So usually they come in, they cause mayhem, and they leave. And that's a very serious issue that needs to be really looked into. And we hope and pray that with the marching orders of the president, the minister will come and do the needful, and they should intensify more effort to ensure that we don't have similar occurrence of such, because it's really a traumatic situation. Kebbi has been known to be a very peaceful state. So this is coming at a time where it's new, and we are not used to this, and it's really bad that it has gotten this bad.
Okay, a statement by the governor, he said there were prior intelligence warnings. And I understand that Maga and Zuru are within the same emirates. Now, from your end in Zuru, what kind of intelligence or community reports had been coming in before the incident? Were these alerts acted upon at the local level?
Well, as far as we were concerned, we thought it was already contained, because Already, intelligence report was already issued, and the governor has mobilized the securities to where such a likely target is going to take place. The question still remains: what happened? Why did it happen that they had to leave? Because they were supposed to be there 247. Because to ensure that that place is secured, because it's a target and it is a privileged information or is a security information that they are likely to affect, to attack that area. So the issue of advancing to support any other attack apart from where they got an information is quite disturbing, and we are really worried about that incident. But so far, the place is calm, but people are really worried, even though His Excellency was there to commiserate with the people, to condole those that have lost their lives, and also issue very strong word of encouragement to the parents that God's willing, their children will be brought back to them, God's willing, and the military is doing everything humanly possible to ensure that these children are brought back.
Thank you, Abdulrahman Mohammed Manga, Secretary Zuru Local Government, Kebbi State, for speaking with us tonight. And our heart goes out to the parents of the abducted children, and we hope they all come back safely.
Thank you. Amen.
All right, moving on, the Nasarawa State Police Command has debunked reports claiming that students of St. Peter's Foundation Secondary School in Rukubi Doma local government area were abducted on Friday. Now, police spokesperson Ramhan Nansel said the viral accounts circulating on social media and in some news outlets were false. He explained that the scare began when students saw armed hunters near the school and fled, mistaking them for kidnappers. Their teachers later escorted them safely back to class. Nansel said the Commissioner of Police, Shetima Jauro Mohammed, deployed a joint police and military team to the area after receiving the distress call. The school proprietor also confirmed that no abduction occurred. The security personnel are maintaining surveillance around the community. Now, the police urge the public to disregard the false reports and advise the media to verify information before publication to avoid causing panic. And now to Benue State, where the State Police Command has uncovered a major criminal hideout in Makurdi and in a separate operation rescued 6 children from suspected traffickers along the Orokam-Enugu Road. In a statement on Friday, the command's public relations officer DSP Udeme Edet said officers responded to a distress call around 6:30 p.m. on Thursday and traced a stolen Bajaj motorcycle to a compound along George Akume Way in Makurdi. Upon arrival, patrol teams met a large crowd at the location. Now, after gaining access, officers discovered 11 suspected stolen motorcycles, 47 motorcycle seats, fuel tanks, 3 mattresses, criminal charms, a single-barrel firearm, and other items believed to be linked to criminal activity. The statement noted that 2 suspects fled the scene but were later intercepted by members of the public. DSP Edet said the individuals were taken to the Federal Medical Center, Wadata, where they were confirmed dead. The State Criminal Investigation Department has taken over the case. Now, in a separate operation earlier that day, police operatives on patrol along the Orokam-Enugu Road intercepted a suspicious vehicle around 5:05 p.m. inside where 3 women, Monica Okonkwo, Nkiru Nwosu, and Oyechele Francisca, all from Umede Oka Odukofia in Anambra State, transporting 6 children. And DSP Edet said the children have been placed under protective care while the 3 women are in custody as investigations continue under the state CID. Now, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has called on the federal government to immediately declare a state of emergency on insecurity after yet another mass abduction of school children in Niger State. Atiku, reacting to Friday's attack on St. Mary's Primary and Secondary School in Papiri, Agwara local government area, warned that the rising wave of kidnappings demands urgent and extraordinary action. And gunmen stormed the Catholic-owned school on over 60 motorcycles and a van, abducting an unspecified number of students. The incident comes days after bandits kidnapped 26 students from a school in Kebbi State, killing a vice principal who tried to resist. It also follows the recent abduction of at least 30 worshippers during a deadly attack on a church in Kwara State. President Bola Tinubu has condemned the attacks and directed Vice President Kashim Shettima to visit affected victims. And now moving on, the Nigerian Army is seeking media collaboration to assist in tackling current security challenges bedeviling the country. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Wahidi Shoaibu, who made the call during 4th quarterly media chat in Jos, emphasized that the media has a vital role to play addressing insecurity in the country. The report.
The spate of attacks across the country makes it imperative for stakeholders to sit in a roundtable to exchange ideas on the way forward. The Chief of Army Staff is represented at this dialogue by the General Officer commanding 3 Division of the Nigerian Army and Commander Operation Enduring Peace, Major General Folusho Oilola. He is emphatic that the media has a pivotal role to play in forging a common narrative towards a safe and secure environment.
A common narrative towards ensuring a safe and secure environment. While the pen is considered to be mightier than the sword, we can all agree that our current security environment demands stronger cooperation and partnership between the pen and the sword.
Stakeholders have different takes on the impact of emerging technology in the media and strategic communications as a tool for countering violence.
What is the media's role? What is the media's responsibility? What is the military's responsibility? What role is the government going to play? And of course, overall community. But each and every one of these components that I've mentioned have a role to play in view of the fact that these emerging technologies, they came so much with opportunities.
It's strategic communication that wins people. So we too as media people, that's where you come in now. How do you shape your views? How do you write your stories? When you write that insurgents kill Nigerian army, you see you are causing a problem. But when you begin to craft your message and say Nigerian army making efforts so as to curb insurgency, so as to do this, you are now giving them the moral.
Other discussants spoke about the need for the military to be truthful to the media in order to have effective communication with the general public.
You must be able to tell the journalists what has happened, but you must also need to know that you talk based on your level, that is for the serving personnel. For the journalists, you must also be able to get your information from the right source. You cannot go and meet a last corporal and expect him to give you an information that will be used for the media.
For military to be truthful is not an option. In fact, the basic military training trains you to say the truth always, no matter what that truth will cost you. So for any military public relations officer or any representative, for him to deal with any media, he must come out clean.
According to the Nigerian Army, malicious acts such as disclosure of classified information and weaponization of narratives by dissidents in the media space pose threat to national security. This has necessitated collaboration between the Nigerian Army and media stakeholders to foster a formidable front against shared security challenges. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Now, legal representatives of Nnamdi Kanu say they visited the Department of State Services, DSS headquarters, to see their client, but were informed he had been moved out of the facility. Now, according to the lawyers, DSS officials disclosed that Kanu had been relocated to a secure and protected location at the Sokoto State Correctional Facility. And further details on the circumstances of the transfer or his current condition were not immediately provided. The legal team said it is seeking clarification from the relevant authorities and will issue a formal statement once more information becomes available.
We just came out from visiting the State Security Service department of the FCT, and we had been informed by the Director of Operations that Mazen Nnamdi is no longer in their custody. He has been moved to a safe correctional facility in Sokoto State. So right now, Mazen Nnamdi is now in Sokoto State, and all our challenge anyway in this is that most of the documents he's supposed to file in Abuja Court of Appeal, you may not be able to file it anymore because he needed to file processes at the Court of Appeal to challenge the judgment that was delivered yesterday by the Federal High Court Judge, Honorable Justice James Omotoshop, and moving him to Sokoto is now going to act as an impediment to his filing those appeal processes.
Now, still on security matters, Wale Soyinka has criticized U.S. President Donald Trump's recent remarks on Nigeria, describing them as a distortion of the country's security situation. He warned that Trump's comments could inflame religious tensions and fail to reflect the true nature of the conflict. Trust TV's correspondent in Benue reports that the Nobel laureate spoke during a courtesy visit to Governor Hyacinth Alia at the government house in Makurdi. His comments come in response to Trump's labeling of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, along with threats of possible military intervention over alleged persecution of Christians. Governor Hyacinth Alia rejected Trump's allegations, insisting that insecurity affects Nigerians across all faiths. He emphasized the need for a deeper, more refined understanding of the country's complex security landscape.
It'll be foolish of us to reject aid in resolving any problems, whether economic, cultural, religious. It'll be stupid. If there's a possibility of allying with one another, we should take it. But because I'm ill or I have some difficulties, I will not accept aid from a madman. That's all I'm doing. And my definition of a madman, a woman for that matter, is one who, when he or she says, I'm helping you, is actually complicating your problems for you on so many levels. We know why he's talking. It's because why he's talking about Trump is because he doesn't want to criticize. I mean, how do you deal with Nigerians like that? So the problem is on so many levels, including especially the level of the citizens of this nation.
Never denied that my people were killed. I still remain very firm that we have bandits, we have terrorists who come fully organized and destroy people, maim, kill. And the last time we had checked, as I have been consistently again, as I have been religiously stating and emphasizing, that their aim is to land grab. We do a lot of harms in here.
Now, as rising economic pressure pushes many Nigerians to rethink survival, young grass hawkers in Bauchi are turning simple natural resources into a steady source of income, reducing overgrazing, supporting livestock owners and helping sustain their families. Trust TV's Adamu Imam takes a closer look on how this overlooked trade along the popular CBN roundabout has quietly become a model of resilience. The report.
At Kofar Fada, Kofar Wambai, and CBN roundabout, their green heaps glow under the fading sunlight. Motorcycles pull up to negotiate prices, cattle owners bargain, and the grass sellers, hands-hardened faces, tired yet hopeful, count the days' worth of labor. What appears to be a simple roadside hustle is in reality a lifeline for dozens of families. Beyond income, the trade unintentionally supports environmental balance, reducing pressure on overgrazed fields and helping livestock owners access feed without straining the city's fragile vegetation. We're appealing to the state government to give us a permanent place to sell our grass so that customers can easily locate us. This small business helps us a lot because people patronize us regularly. We walk long distance to get enough grass for our customers and livestock rearers. For me, this business has sustained my family for over 4.5 years. I have spent 7 to 8 years in this business. Even when the grass dries up, we still find ways to sell to our customers, especially horse and cattle rearers. Honestly, we don't incur losses. There's a secret to this grass business. Many people know me here, and we don't joke with our work. When we realize that there is no food for lazy person, we strategize and join the grass selling business. We go into the bush or abandoned areas nearby to cut the grass. I want to call on fellow youths not to remain jobless. There are local opportunities out there. The more we explore them, the more we can support our parents and help fight poverty in all its forms. To some passers-by, they are just hawkers, but their work plays a quite crucial role in Bauchi's urban agriculture and environmental ecosystem.
Because without them, we cannot even survive how our, at least, animals will be surviving. Through this, we do come always, at least, sometimes, if they are not available, I have to go to the market and get even, sometimes, anything that my animals can take. But if they are around, I always come around, I bought the grass, because there are different types of grass here.
Yet the hawkers themselves are not shielded from the realities of climate change, as the availability of fresh grass depends heavily on rainfall patterns and vegetation cycles, both increasingly unpredictable across the state. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Gov't.
Now, northern Nigeria's influential elders, policymakers, and cultural leaders have issued a strong call for bold and innovative solutions to the region's persistent insecurity and development challenges. Speaking at the opening session of the Arewa Consultative Forum's ACF 25th anniversary celebration in Kaduna, the chairman of the ACF Board of Trustees, Alhaji Bashir Dalhatu Wazirin Duse, said the North must urgently adopt modern development models that empower young people and reduce inequality. The report.
Alhatu stressed that inclusive development, not just economic growth, must define the future of northern Nigeria. He said the ACF intends to create opportunities for less privilege so that both the haves and have-nots can thrive together. Reinforcing the forum's message of unity, he echoed the mantra, "The North is one people, one North." Alhaji noted that the celebration was taking place against the backdrop of a region deeply scarred by years of violence and instability.
We are also doing this in earnest and with all sense of responsibility, knowing fully well the dire security circumstances that our region and our people are going through.
Former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Burtai, retired, described the forum's 25-year milestone as a moment for reflection. an opportunity to assess past progress and chart solutions to future challenges. He said the event focused on youth under the theme Creative Economy. Engaging the youth is critical to addressing the region's development gaps. Buratai also highlighted Nigeria's rapidly changing social landscape, noting that the country is no longer homogeneous and requires new approaches to unity and development.
Forum that was formed primarily to promote an interest that is specifically regional, but of course with national outlook.
Minister of Arts and Culture and Creative Economy Hannatu Musa Musawa, in her remarks on tourism for security, argued that tourism can serve as a strategic stabilizer for the nation, helping to strengthen peace and economic resilience.
Now, to our security agencies, please walk with us, safeguard our heritage, protect our dream. Your role transcends enforcement. You are partners in nation building.
Representatives of Yobe State Governor Mema Labuni, National Security Advisor Nuhu Bado, and the Chief of Defense Staff also addressed the gathering, calling for national unity and emphasizing tourism as a tool for promoting peace and reducing insecurity in the north and across Nigeria.
Around the world, nations have used tourism to reclaim areas previously affected by conflicts, by restoring public confidence, encouraging community policing, stimulating economic activity.
The National Counter-Terrorism Center, NCTC, under strategic guidance of the National Security Advisor, has therefore prioritized community engagement, development partnership, de-radicalization and reintegration, countering tourist financing, and protection of critical infrastructure.
While the armed forces of Nigeria remains resolute in combating threats to the physical environment through targeted intelligence-driven joint operations, managing the information space is equally as critical.
While honoring victims of insecurity over the past 15 years, Al-Hatu insisted it was time to demand more from security actors. He acknowledged the sacrifices of security agencies, but said the region must now seek further, better, and more effective means of confronting the security challenges. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
Now moving on to more stories, the National Universities Commission, NUC, has raised alarm over the growing misuse of honorary doctorate degrees by Nigerian universities and unaccredited institutions across the country. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, Abdullahi Ribado, disclosed these on Friday in Abuja while presenting findings from an investigation into the awards and public misuse of honorary doctorate degrees. According to a Daily Trust report, Ribado said the inquiry, which covered 61 institutions and professional bodies, uncovered deeply concerning practices, including the indiscriminate conferment of honorary degrees and, in some cases, the awarding of fake professorships. Ribado warned that holders of honorary doctorates must not use the title doctor as part of their names, stressing that the designation is strictly reserved for individuals with earned doctoral or medical degrees. He added that honorary degree recipients are not permitted to practice as scholars, supervise research, or oversee academic or administrative units. He emphasized that the awarding of honorary degrees is a legal responsibility of recognized Nigerian universities and that the NUC is mandated to regulate both their conferment and use. The investigation followed a constitution of a 5-member committee set up to examine what the commission described as the increasing political manipulation and misuse of the degree. The panel, chaired by NUC visiting professor and former vice-chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Professor Kabiru Bala, was tasked with recommending ethical guidelines and best practices for awarding and regulating the degree. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has disclosed that it has convicted 4,111 corruption cases worth 566 billion naira within the past 2 years, including prosecutions of 5 former governors and ministers. The announcement was made during a one-day capacity building workshop for civil societies and journalists on cryptocurrency fraud held in Maiduguri. The Commission dismissed claims that it prioritizes internet fraud cases over high-profile corruption cases in its anti-graft efforts. Dele Oyewole, EFCC media head, urged the public to remain vigilant against financial crimes that erode trust and destabilize the economy. He also called on media stakeholders and the public to actively participate in the fight against corruption, emphasizing that the Commission will remain steadfast in tackling corruption, fraud, and cybercrime.
A commission is able to arraign 5 former governors, 5 former ministers before the court, then it will be wrong for anyone to say that our effort is largely directed towards internet fraudsters. Let me tell you, the present reality today in this country is that the so-called internet fraudsters, the so-called Yahoo boys, they are wreaking more havoc, terrible havoc on the economy than any other set of people. And for us to come out of this perception, we need to realize the fact that the anti-corruption fight is a broad-based fight. It's a fully integrated fight. It's not a fight that is focused on one typology of crime or the other.
The issue of fighting corruption cannot be exclusively left to the FCC. We need community engagement. And we cannot directly, in some cases, go to the community. You are the mirror. You are the media and the CSO are the ones that actually have direct access to them. So that was why we now organize and start with you first. This issue is kind of a prevailing issue. This is what is happening in this country now and in the whole world.
Now, the British shillings and pence introduced by the colonial administration replaced the cowrie shells that once served as Nigeria's primary legal tender. This was later succeeded by the Nigerian pound, which in turn gave way to the Nigerian naira, Nigeria's current currency. Although many of these old coins remain legal tender, they are no longer seen in daily transactions. Instead, people now keep them mainly for historical or archival purposes. In Kaduna, Abubakar Suleiman earns a living by archiving old and current Nigerian coins, which are still legal tender, at his shop near the Sheikh Abubakar Gumi market, where he is committed to preserving history. And Trust TV's Bello Musa reports.
Though he also sells scrapped phone parts, Abubakar Ismail's true passion lies in preserving Nigeria's history by displaying old coins and naira notes, especially for the younger generation to see. I preserve these items for the younger generation because many of them have never seen them before. People often come specifically to view these old coins and old naira notes. I don't buy them. I collect them from people. I do it out of passion because I love documenting history. A large heap of coins here, including old British currency. Ismail can identify them one after the other. Old 2 naira coin. This is 1 naira, and this used to be 12 kobo, which is now almost equivalent to 100,000 naira. This is the 3 kobo coin, and these are old naira notes. This one here is the £1 note. introduced by the British. 3. Ismail says he enjoys steady patronage from people who come from different places to see his archival collection. People who come here to see the old currency often leave gift of money. I have recorded a lot of success from that support. Operating from a temporary roadside stall and without formal education, Ismail still nurtures a big dream for his archival business. My dream is to build a place of my own where I can preserve not only old currencies, but other important historical items as well. He appealed to Nigerians to preserve their history for the younger generation so they can understand their roots. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
Now, despite the revival experience in the early 2000s with the arrival of modern multiplexes introduced by various entertainment companies, cinema culture in Nigeria remains largely urban and continues to decline. And today, many residents say the combination of harsh economic realities and the rise of cheaper, more convenient digital alternatives is steadily eroding the once vibrant movie-going tradition. Aisha Abdulmumin reports.
Cinema has long been a global platform for leisure, storytelling and entertainment. However, in Nigeria, many regions remain undeserved, limiting accessibility and making cinema outings a luxury mainly enjoyed by the urban elites. Residents say harsh economic conditions have made it increasingly difficult for people to afford cinema tickets, adding that there are now several affordable alternatives that offer a more convenient family entertainment experience.
Everything now is expensive. If you go to cinema, you hear that just one small movie now you hear $85, and it's not what everybody can afford. I would say no, we cannot afford to go to cinema at this time.
Why not? People can still afford to go to cinema, but it won't be like when the economy is stable, because majority of Nigeria now, they are struggling to survive under the pressure of this regime. This administration is not friendly at all. At least majority will be at home just streaming online from their phones.
Cinema is a very entertaining place, so if you come, it relieves you of all the stress of the country and everything. And you can also watch with your phone at home, your TV. Also another way to entertain yourself. Just the fact that the economy is very hard. There are other ways to entertain yourself in your house.
Of alternatives. We all have a smartphone. What you just need to do is just to subscribe. You download your movie box or you stream on live Netflix. By sitting down at home, you can just connect to your TV, because TV that they are doing now, it has a Bluetooth where you can connect and you can begin to watch online movie and the rest of them. So there's no any need for you coming to cinema. Cinema is just like when you are having a lot of money, you can just come for fun, but it's not for this time around.
But Bala Musa, a cinema operations coordinator, disagrees. He maintained that the middle class and above can still afford cinema visits despite current economic realities. Musa also explained that cinema have created outreach programs to give children in rural communities the opportunity to experience the big screen.
There's a future for the business, but what is there also is we know that the economic is somehow, but I know the business is doing great, but the fact is that we also need the government support. We need other collaborations with the government and all of that to make things easy, most especially for those people that were not able to afford to come to cinema. You understand, if there's a program that festive period is coming, like Christmas period, Salah, thereabout, you understand, like a government subsidizing the cinema to enable people to come to the cinema. I think it has a long way to go. Like a programs like that, you understand, subsidizing the price and subsidizing everything for the public to come and all of that, I think is better.
As Nigeria's economic culture struggles to retain its audience, stakeholders say its survival will depend on accessibility, affordability, and a renewed connection with communities beyond major cities. Aisha Abdulmominu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, away from Nigeria, President of the ECOWAS Commission, Omar Touray, has warned that the rising wave of terrorism across West Africa and the Sahel now poses an existential threat to the entire sub-region. Touray issued the warning while briefing the UN Security Council during its 10,047th meeting on counter-terrorism cooperation. He said terrorist groups are increasingly targeting economic lifelines, including fuel supplies and trade routes, in what he described as economic warfare. He outlined ECOWAS' effort to rebuild trust, advance political dialogue with Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, and tackle the social-economic factors fueling extremism. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres also briefed the Council, expressing concern over the worsening security and humanitarian situation in the Sahel and calling for stronger regional and international action. The meeting was chaired by Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio, who stressed that terrorism is a global challenge requiring renewed global cooperation. Let's move over to sports updates now with Adeni Ajishafe.
Nigeria has been placed in Group B of the boys category for 2025 African Secondary School Championship Zonal Qualifiers. The draw for the fourth edition of the competition, conducted at the WAFU B headquarters in Abidjan, have in the boys under 15 division Group A Burkina Faso, Ghana and Togo, while Group B consists of Nigeria, Benin Republic and Cote d'Ivoire. In the girls under 15 category, Nigeria is drawn in Group A with Cote d'Ivoire and Benin Republic, and in Group B have Togo, Ghana and Burkina Faso. The 2025 final will take place in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso from 1st to 4th December, organized by Confederation of African Football, CAF. African Secondary School tournaments serve as a platform for identifying and nurturing young football talent across the continent. The WAFU B zone includes Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Benin Republic, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Zonal winners will advance to continental finals. And still in sport, Team Nigeria delivered another solid performance in para-powerlifting as Folashade Oluwafemi powered her way to gold in the women's heavyweight event at the 6th Solidarity Games in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Oluwafemi dominated to finish top the podium, lifting the dual color high and reaffirming Nigerian status as a powerhouse in para-powerlifting, with Uzbekistan Kudrato Chublitova fought hard for silver, while Jordan's Asma Isa claimed bronze. This victory adds another goal to Team Nigeria's fine outing at the Games, where the athletes had shown grit and world-class performances across events. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
It's a wrap on News Hour on Trust TV. Do well to follow us on all of our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more news. I am Memuna Bagodo. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening and good night.